So I finished my second banned/challenged book of the year. Plans to read 24 throughout 2024, and this is number 2. This is actually my first graphic novel as well, and it's Saga Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. Fiona Staples did the artwork, and just touching the artwork is exceptional. I mean, I don't have it, as I say, it's my first graphic novel, but I do really appreciate the artwork. It's pretty wild, it's pretty out there. The story's pretty wild and pretty out there as well, but the artwork is fantastic. So this book is about our two main characters here who are on opposite sides of a war. They fall in love and they have a baby. And it's about effectively them being hunted by both sides, really, to try and break them up, bring them to justice, whatever that means, and sort of destroy this family grouping that has created and is seen as, I suppose, perverse and unwanted when they're supposed to be at war. So that's sort of the very brief outline. But what has this been challenged for? So this has been challenged for the violence, which there is. There is violence in there. I mean, it's about war, and therefore there is violence, and about the sexual content as well. And there is sexual content within here as well. I always get a little bit, people have different standards of, what they view as acceptable on that. But I know there was a bit of ridiculous outcry because the front cover has the lady breastfeeding her baby. And I mean, I don't understand why that is controversial in any way, shape or form. That is a natural element of keeping a baby alive for many, many women in the world. Now, I know breastfeeding doesn't work for everyone, and that is absolutely fine. And breastfeeding is not for everyone. But to have a controversy over a woman breastfeeding on a cover of a book is preposterous. But that's not the most preposterous challenge. The most preposterous challenge is that this book is anti-family. Now, if you haven't gathered by the cover, this family unit and their relationship is the core element of the storyline. It's about them fighting adversity for their family, to keep them together, to look after their child against a very hostile environment in which they have come together. And to say, therefore, this is anti-family just is ridiculous, for one thing. It's absolutely ridiculous. It makes me question whether people have actually read it or whether they've heard something and they've just gone off and challenged this book, because the core element is pro-family. And even if you take this element out of it and look at the additional elements around it and the additional characters, so we've got one of the guys, another guy, I mean, I'm going to use guy, girl and male and female, but they're all sort of alien races, so I'm anthropomorphizing, I suppose. Anyway, there's this guy, and he is, you see him, and he's a baddie, but he is also in a relationship, and they are trying to have kids and start a family. So again, pro-family. We also have a bounty hunter who realistically starts off one way, but is actually desperately seeking connection because he doesn't have this kind of connection. Again, not an anti-family storyline. It just beggars belief. And so it's either, I see two ways. One, it's either people haven't read it and have made assumptions. Fine. I mean, if you haven't read something, maybe you should keep your opinions to yourself. Or, and this may be me projecting because I've not seen it said outright, or it's because it's perceived as showing a mixed race relationship, and that is the sort of anti-family stereotyping. In which case, how do I say this without swearing? I don't think I can. In which case, because this is a family unit, and this is about family, it's about love, it's about that connection, it's about protecting your child at all costs against incredible hostile opposition. Anyway, so this being challenged as anti-family is preposterous at best. This is only volume 1, so maybe it changes dramatically in volumes 2 to 10, but volume 1 is not anti-family in any way. It is very, very pro family and pro family unit. And I mean, minor spoiler here. I mean, at the very end, the grandparents turned up as well. So, I mean, it could become even more about family in the later volumes. It's frustrating to see that things getting challenged for that. You know, the breastfeeding thing is ridiculous. The anti-family thing is just preposterous nonsense. Fortunately, this hasn't actually been banned as far as I'm aware anywhere yet. It's been heavily challenged in quite a few places, but I don't think it's actually fallen under a ban yet. Now, I do believe that in some places when a challenge goes in, books are withdrawn while the challenge is being undertaken. So that's kind of a de facto ban anyway. But for me, it hasn't actually been banned yet, but it has been challenged a lot. And again, some of the reasons are ridiculous. So that is my little frustration with people banning books, especially for nonsensical reasons. But yeah, it's a good read. It's entertaining. I'm not sure. One thing on a side separate, I'm not sure graphic novels are really my thing. It just there's a lot. There's actually quite a bit here, but it just feels too short. Now I know there's like another 9 volumes, so maybe that's how graphic novels work. But we'll find out. I will read more, so we will see. But I do love the artwork that they've done here, and some of the characters just crazy imagery. Anyway, I do recommend Saga Volume 1, as I will read more of them. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, and this is a bit of a frustrating one for me to think about because I just don't understand. I will be reading plenty more banned books. I've already done one on Beloved by Toni Morrison, which I'll link above. And I think the next one I'm reading is probably going to be The Hunger Games, which has also been banned. So we'll find out what my thoughts are on that. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.